So with that, we can get this party started. Our first speaker is Asa Raskin. Let's get that going.
When I was in 5th or 6th grade, I went to a summer camp in the Adirondack Mountains. The first time I went canoeing, I remember noticing a mysterious phenomenon no one could explain. As I pulled my paddle through the water, two little whirlpools spun from its edges, spiraling away into the lake long after I pulled my paddle from the water. What were they, and how did they form? It was trying to figure it out for myself that pulled me into a love for physics and math. Together, they give you a map by which you can work out the whys of the universe. You can find the same vortex in the eddies at the edges of streams, in the rising warmth of dust devils, in the dangerous air rotors lurking behind cliffs. There are simple, unseen rules that govern everything. They're gorgeous. Metaphors are maps that preserve relationships. They help you understand one thing by borrowing your understanding of another. They let you understand something huge by understanding something small, something you can't touch by something that you can. The better your maps, the deeper variety of things you can understand with what you already know. And the deeper variety of things you know, the more your maps can teach you how the world is actually the same. By walking more territory and bettering your maps, you'll find constant insight into whatever you care about most. These maps, your metaphors, help light the universe's simple, unseen rules. But take care. Maps come with a warning. The map, it says, is not the territory. The menu is not the meal. The representation is not the thing it represents. Some parts must be minimized to make others more visible. Maps clarify by obscuring. A metaphor, as a map, is like a set of many arranged bulbs in a dark forest. The trees flush with light hide those that are in shadow, and often in complex patterns. There is no way to see that isn't also blind. But moving between many maps and metaphors changes your perspective. It moves the bulbs in their arrangement. It lights this way and then that. And slowly, and sometimes all at once, you can see patterns in what you can't see. Truth is a process. More verb than noun. The entire exterior surface of ants is covered in communication. Their externalmost layer is no deeper than the width of a single dropping of a single dust mite, but it holds a library telling of health and fertility, excitement, fear, age, belonging, and tribe. Hydrocarbons. They can be deposited as billowing stepping stones, creating a flow of Morse code clouds buffeted by air molecules, showing the way like flickering candles at the edge of the sea. This way food, that way peril, all together, cognition. The paths are collectively tended epistemology. A palimpsest library of Alexandria tap-etched at the surface of the world. Hydrocarbons structure the human world too, where we go, how we get there, which societies dominate which societies. Oil and gas have drawn pheromone trails through our human history. And bees. Bees use hydrocarbons too, but they cannot leave deposits mid-flight to show the way. As they fly, bees gather electric charge, hairs and wigs rubbing, decorating their bodies with packed electrons plucked from the air, and when they return, their knowledge of the world is shared in Tanzbarsche, an eruption of smell and electricity, direction and duration. They sound their excitement, the displacement of air vibrating their fellow bees in dancing electric potential. The dance language tells the others of their own coming journey, in which direction to fly, and how far. Though, when food is plentiful and, like much other dance, once observed, it is ignored. Perhaps, in abundance, it's not for the others that the bees dance, but for themselves. Lars Chitka, decorated ethologist, has seen them night dance far from the forges of the day. Perhaps they dream, dancing with landscapes conjured from within themselves. For ants, with their dotted paths, how precisely do they speak, say, of direction? Their angular resolution can be measured, and in experiments, they can discern up to 16 different directions. For bees, with their dance, in experiments, they too discern the difference of 16 different directions. And humans, with our language, how many directions do we discern? Well, north, east, southwest, east by northeast, south by southwest. It's 4 times 2 times 2. We also speak in 16 directions. So here, pheromones, dance, language, all lighting a simple, unseen rule of the universe. I am one of the co-founders for the Earth Species Project. We are me, Britt Selvatel, Katie Zakarian, Peter Bermont, Radiko Molsky, and Masato Hagiwara. We are decoding animal communication using the tools of modern machine learning and the data from new scales of sensors. Our goal is to find, understand, and ultimately translate non-human language. We are working with dolphins, whales, elephants, and primates, with biologists and researchers from places like Cornell, Imperial College, Simmons Institute, University of Oxford, MIT, UC Davis, Mbari, Woods Hole Oceanographic, and the Jane Goodall Institute. We're also hiring a director of developments, AI researchers, and a science writer. Please write me if you know someone. But why now? From the field of unsupervised machine learning came a 2013 breakthrough, a set of techniques that efficiently turn entire languages into a shape that can be compared. The shapes look like galaxies, or every star is a word. Our mind's eye falters past 3 dimensions, but the shape of language requires hundreds. In this shape, the distance and direction between stars represents the relationship between words and concepts. So analogies form rhombuses, 4 lines drawn between 4 words, opposite sides of equal length. In 2017, a further breakthrough. Not only can you build the shapes of language, but if you rotate them in just the right way, the shapes align and match. The point, which is dog, appears in the same place in both languages, and like that, the 2 languages can be translated without dictionaries or examples, just by rotating one shape until it fits with the other. The shape of English rotates to fit the shape of Chinese, which rotates into and fits the shape of Finnish, and Turkish, and Arabic, and Aramaic. Despite the drastic differences in culture and context and history, human languages seem to all share a hidden, unseen, universal shape. And it's gorgeous. These rotations are metaphors. They are a mapping that preserves the relationship between concepts. Translation is a map that preserves analogies. Each language becomes a potential key to unlock every other language's lock. We're working now on being able to make these shapes directly from bioacoustic recordings so that we can compare the shape of human language, the shape of animal communication, so that we can see what dolphins teach us about orcas, teach us about humpbacks, teach us about elephants, teach us about bats, teach us about us. We can compare the cultural dialects of whales or of bonobos in captivity to those in the wild. Each species' shape is a worldview, a crystallized glimpse into what it is like to be that being. The mapping between them, a calculable metaphor what we are building is a perspective-changing machine. Imagine what we might find. Humans have been communicating with something language-like for maybe 60,000 years. Dolphins for 40 million. We are now en route to our first major publication on a significant but early breakthrough along the way. I'd like to leave you with this thought. Flowers can hear. Discovered at the University of Tel Aviv in the last couple of years, the rhythmic beat of a bee's wing vibrates the petals of an evening primrose from afar. And the flower reacts, grows wet in excitement, gushing with more and sweetened nectar. Plants make sound too. That same lab in Tel Aviv, they discovered that both tobacco and tomato plants emit ultrasonics when hurt, when cut or dehydrated, and the greater the distress, the greater the frequency of screams, and not quietly. If only our ears could hear as fast as the AC power in our walls oscillates, we would be bathed in the sound of fields at the volume of human speaking. This year's March special edition of the Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society has this to say. Higher plants enjoy several features that were originally considered specific only for animals, including sexuality, immunity, self and non-self recognition, goal-directed behavior based on plant-specific cognition, and communication, as well as on intelligence and sociality resulting from the convergent evolution of flowering plants and animals. Our ability to understand is limited by our ability to perceive. These new machine learning tools are like the invention of optics. Optics created the microscope. Suddenly, beings were made of cells with inner workings, and bacteria, unknown before, were everywhere and on everything. Darwin's protege, Ernst Haeckel, spent years with one eye looking through the microscope and the other painting the vivid geometric beauty of the microscopic world. His collected works became art forms of nature and birthed the Art Nouveau movement. Optics also created the telescope. Suddenly, we saw that Earth was not the center, that the universe was far larger than humanity had even the imagination to conceptualize. Optics gave us our first measurement of the speed of light, the clues to gravity's workings, and the ability to calculate the age of the universe, to even know that that was a thing that we could do. Optics changed how we see, the perspectives from which we can see, and it changed everything. And then it changed everything. And then it changed everything. There are simple, unseen rules, and they're gorgeous.